Guys, welcome back to the Matt Chat Podcast. Yours truly, Paulie P, Uncle P, Buff Daddy, Big Sexy, Cuzzy Frank, Frank Grizzly, the Handsome Frank, Baby Shay, the Red Man, the Hellboy, etc., etc. Peter Over, producer extraordinaire. We're back. And guys, as always, please continue to like, subscribe, and share, especially on our YouTube channel. We love the support. Keep it coming.
Especially the YouTube channel.
Especially. A lot of new stuff on Instagram, and we appreciate the support, but definitely show that love on YouTube as well. We thank you.
You heard him.
I got a story for you guys, and I don't know if it's just me. What are you laughing at? I always got a story.
No, we love the stories, but like what I'm going to preface is we enjoy the stories.
Yes.
But just keep it moving.
All right, fine.
Fucking tell the stories.
I can't tell it. That's not how I tell stories.
You start,
guys, I got something I got to tell you. So it started out like this. Well, hang on a second. Actually, last week we first started. And then you know what? I was talking to my wife last night, and then you know what, Paul? On the way to the you never get there. It's circle, 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 and then we're just jerking.
So basically, a viewer should sit down, relax.
Yeah, if I'm telling the story, just sit back. Get yourself a drink and relax.
I know your story.
And maybe even a snack.
Your story usually is it's the preface to a message.
Yes.
Or a topic matter. So get to it.
Here's the message. I'm going to start.
No, don't even get the message. Just tell the story first. Get to it.
The message is this: am I the only one who's fucking crazy? There's my message.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, 2 laces on a shoe, tied together, Shay.
I like that. I would like to see or know if other people are just as effed up as me. Okay. It doesn't matter where I go. It doesn't matter where I go. I go out to eat with my wife. I go to a club. I go to church. I go to a fucking grocery store. And I'm in there.
I like how church and club are right next to each other.
Well, I got the duality of man. So, and as I'm in these places, I'm like looking around, and I'm sizing people up all the time. And I don't understand that. I don't know. Why can't I just walk into a store, get my stuff, and leave? Why am I in there going, well, if this guy makes a move on me, I don't even know who he is.
Are you insecure that you're sizing people? Are you staring at Fowler O'Malley like you're going to knock him out?
Yeah, dude. I get so fucking bad that my wife will be talking to me, and I'll start I'm not even listening to her anymore. I'm creating fight scenarios in my head, and I'm talking. I'm going, and she's like, Chris, what are you doing? I'll give you another perfect example. Walking the dogs the other day. Somebody drives a little too close to me. I've got a scenario where because now I'm staring at him aggressively. And as we start getting closer, I'm looking at him, and as my wife's talking to me, I'm mouthing stuff. I made a little move, like if I was going to take a
posturing.
You're posturing. Absolutely. Am I the only one who does that? That's my question.
So what you're saying is, unlike a large dog that could actually do something that just kind of sits there and ignores it, you're more like the Chihuahua who's just, hey,
yes.
hey,
yes.
hey.
That's what I'm wondering. Am I just so fucking insecure that I'm ready to fight anybody at any point? Dude, I was at church last night, and I haven't been to my church in my town in a while.
What mass?
Or I shouldn't. 5:15. So I'm at 5:15 mass, and I'm going. It's not even that it was just church. I just haven't seen people from my town in a long time, and I wasn't sure how it was going to play out.
But
and
they've seen you on the Matt Chat podcast.
Absolutely, but here's.
Well, I was going to say that's probably a good reason why you're going to the church, like you might fight somebody.
But I'm wondering to myself. I'm saying, well, what happens if X happens? I'm in there already working scenarios of getting into a fight, and I'm in church, and I'm pretty sure no one's even paying me mind, but I'm sitting there in the middle of, hallelujah, and I'm going, all right, this guy over here, I haven't seen him in a long time. I wonder what. Am I the only one who does that? That's all I'm asking. I can't be the only person in here who's crazy, who walks into a freaking restaurant, sees maybe a seedy crowd over there, and starts going through fight scenarios of what's going to happen if they make a move.
I will say this. In everyday places, I don't necessarily do that. Where I really do that, where I start sizing people up, is on a plane. As soon as I start walking down the aisle, I'm already going, if that guy acts up, I'm going to fuck him up. If that guy acts up, I'm already looking at who could have the potential of actually doing it. And who looks like they might actually get froggy on this plane. So that's the only place.
But here's the other thing. Are you also looking for guys if all of a sudden there's a terrorist attack,
No.
who's going to have your
Don't
back?
care about everybody else.
See, I'm doing that. If I'm like, all right, if something happens, who else am I going to get so we
No.
can storm the cockpit
No.
and take them out?
In my experience, usually on your own, because most people will say they'll do something, but they won't.
Yeah, what's the old adage? Like, it's the Warriors Creed. So if you have 10 guys, 7 of them shouldn't even be there, right?
Yep.
Two are the fighters,
Yep.
and one's the warrior, and those are the ones that win the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like that.
Yeah,
So
80-20 rule.
So I'm not. I mean, I can't be the only person. Is my question.
No, I do
can't.
it.
Right? You do.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Thank you. Everybody. So do this. It's everywhere.
I do it everywhere.
It's everywhere. I walk into the McDonald's, or I wouldn't walk into McDonald's. I don't really like their food, but I'd walk into like a Burger King.
I'm at a WestCon football game.
Thank you. Thank
This
you
is-
for
and this
me
is
not
true.
being the only one.
So I'm at a WestCon football game, and I'm watching one of the guys we work with play, and a couple of the other guys were with us that came home to watch. And to my left, there's 2 knuckleheads, and all they're doing is talking shit, and their shit talking is getting me angry.
Thank you.
Do they have
Thank
a
you.
podcast?
No, but they're 2 young bucks,
Yeah.
you know, and they're talking shit, and I got probably 2 guys directly to my left of me who are probably my age, if not a little older, and you can see they're getting uncomfortable, you know, because if this goes down, it's happening right in their
What
face.
And
kind of
they
shit
know that,
talking
and I
about?
guarantee they know because they're with you.
It's
That
just-
there's a possibility it could go down.
But see, here's the thing, like, what did you say? What was your question?
What's the shit? What, like,
Well, like, I guess, someone said something, and one guy's basically, you won't. One of those years, like, you know, you're not this, you're not that. Then they start talking where they're from and neighborhoods. I'm like, really? So I said to the guys next to me, I go, listen, if something pops off, let's just get the fuck out of here. Just move that direction. They look like 2 little sissies anyway. Let them scratch each other's eyes out for the 2 seconds. The cops are here. They're gonna lock them up. Stay away.
Time out.
from
So
them.
they were planning on fighting each other?
Yes. What do you think? What am I?
I thought they were
What did
talking shit and you were going to fight both of them.
Did
Oh.
I not? Did you pay attention to anything? Did you? Was I clear what I was saying?
that was clear. That's why.
So
I asked
anyway,
what it was about.
yeah. So anyway, it kept escalating, and I to the point where I'm like, you know what? Shut up already. Now I'm talking.
To
I'm
yourself,
like,
right?
To myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm talking out loud because I want them to hear me. And I'm
Yes.
like, all right, if you're gonna fight, then fight. Stop talking. And I'm saying it loud. So my son says to me, he goes, Dad. I go, nah, I go, fuck these guys, I said. I go, it's the problem with your generation. They do a lot of fucking talking. I go, they look like they couldn't do a push-up, these 2 fucking sissies. And I go, enough. I go, and then they're talking bullshit because they got cops coming around because they know it's going to get broken up.
Correct.
Okay, and then you got security guys, with all due respect, they look like they're 120 years old. So what are they going to do if the cops weren't there in the first place? But the moral story, to your point is, I'm completely aware. My first assessment was, let's just move away from it, okay? Because
You know your personality.
I know what's going to happen. 'Cause if I get brushed the wrong
Yes.
way, I'm going to end it real quick. So the bottom line is, so to your point, yeah, I'm always assessing. Then we went to eat afterwards, and I make sure I sit with my back to the wall. I actually made my son get up. I go, no, you sit over here, I sit there.
Yeah.
Because so I can assess
the
and
situation.
if something happens, if someone walks in crazy, I can address it. Because I'm prepared to.
Yes.
Okay? And
Do you always do that?
yes, everywhere.
100%.
I do the same.
My
thing.
whole my
100%.
family knows it. They know that I need to sit with my back to the wall
and
I'm
facing
watching
the door. Yeah.
so that I can assess. God forbid some maniac comes in the room.
Correct.
Okay. Same thing in the movie theaters, the whole 9. So it's like, to your point, you're not crazy. I do the same thing, man. I go into the Stop and Shop in town, and I'm preparing myself
For who you
I'm
can
gonna have to
potentially.
unload on.
Yes.
I'm telling you, because I don't like it. I don't like the people. I don't like the energy's bad. I'm only going in there because I have to go into the pharmacy. Other than that, I don't go in there at all. So the reality of it is, are you crazy? No,
Good.
you're not crazy. It just, again,
And are you creating scenarios in your head?
sometimes I
Yeah,
do.
dude, I'm creating scenarios. I'm like, all right, well, let's say I'm in the frozen section.
Well, I'll also emit energy, so people know to stay the fuck away from me. I mean, I'm big on that. Like,
Right.
I will potentially take my you-know-what out, whether posturing or how I walk or the look on my face, because I don't want to be approached.
Are you wearing your
I don't-
sunglasses?
Yes, always, because I'm blind without them. But the point being is, I do that depending on where I'm at. There's other times where, I'm saying hello to everybody.
Absolutely.
You know, but when I'm in certain environments, I am emanating that energy. Like, please don't.
Yeah. leave me
And
alone.
is
I'm
your
looking
wife
for a
picking
reason.
up on it going,
No, I don't. We're rarely together in those circumstances. business.
No.
It's only a matter, like, if we're in public, it doesn't happen to that point because they already know I'm already emanating that energy, especially if I have my family with me, because people need to know it's a no-fly zone. You know what I mean? But other than that, when I'm singular, when I'm by myself, depending where I'm at, if I'm walking in the plaza in Danbury, where my other office is, I am shits and giggles, happy to see everybody, hoping to run into people. I'm walking into to Stop and Shop in New Fairfield, I am absolutely putting on energy like, guess what? Don't come near me.
See, like, my situation, it's different depending on where I'm at. Like, if I was at that UConn game, I already know. Westcon. I already know I'm not getting up and going into the stands and sitting in the middle of the stands. Like, I have to sit at the
No,
end.
we stood at the top.
I have to sit at the
I
end.
stood at the top, yeah.
I can't.
You can't be in the middle of a bunch.
But I don't like large groups of people either. I don't like large groups of people.
And here's the funny part is when we're left there, my son goes, man, I didn't realize how seedy Westcon was.
What?
Yeah.
It's that bad?
What?
Yeah. It's bad.
It's been that way.
It's bad. It's
I've
bad.
never even been there.
It's bad. Nice facility, like, it's nice campus there, but like the element, like, put it this way, we were comparing like some of the behaviors just in the crowd at SUNY Maritime, they would have been ejected.
Yeah.
They would have been asked to leave.
It's scary.
Really?
Yeah. It's just.
They wouldn't. There's signs everywhere at SUNY Maritime like you X, Y, and Z. You will be ejected from the stadium. So it was like we're sitting there, we're laughing because I mean even the banter between the rival teams, like it was getting aggressive. I thought this one guy who probably was maybe in his later 50s was getting so aggressive with a bunch of college kids. I'm like, they're gonna throw down.
Kill him.
Like they're gonna fight. And I'm like, again, I took it for entertainment value, but I'm like, why? You're 55 years old. You're trying to, you're
And your own number.
You're having a screaming contest
With a bunch of
with
kids.
a bunch of kids. It's like for what? It's again. So it goes to the opposite of what you're saying is, there's no assessment of where you are there. You're just being an asshole. Right. And that's why I don't feel bad for you. Like, I expect the 18 to 22-year-old to act like that. I don't expect the 55-year-old to be trying to have an aggressive banter with a kid who's baiting you into it. And the reality of it is, 9 times out of 10, that kid's gonna be the one that's either gonna throw something at you, kick you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And then whose fault is it? You engage in that type of nonsense. Again, not evaluating the situation properly.
Well, I've taken a page out of your book. The best way that I've honestly evaluated the situation, because I'd much rather. Look, I've been in enough situations as a bouncer and et cetera that I know that when cops see like a bigger guy and a smaller guy, even if the smaller guy was in the wrong, I'm probably going to go to jail. And I just don't need that in my life.
Right.
So one of my favorite things to do is like when people are pounding their chest and et cetera, be like, listen, this is not the time or the place, but I'll tell you what, come on down to the gym, sign the waiver, and
waiver's great.
You can film it and put it on social media all you want. And if you kick my ass, you kick my ass. But that way, it's not like there's no like we'll see who you really are. No, why not now? Because we're not going to really fight.
And you don't
now.
want to lose stuff either.
What do you
You
mean?
got things to lose. If all of a sudden you get into a fight and you hurt this guy, now they're suing you. It's not like
Yeah.
it used to be where you got beat up, you wiped yourself off, and you
You shook
said, "Shoot,
hands
I
afterwards, yeah.
better train harder next time or
Yeah,
something."
well,
Yeah, it's not like that
There's
anymore.
definitely people out there that they assess the situation like we would from a standpoint of, oh yeah, I'll bait this guy because he's got X and I want it.
Correct.
I mean, that's the reality of it. And even people that don't have X, there's some lawyer out there that says, oh, we can get X. So, like I've said this before on other podcasts, my street fighting days are over.
Yeah.
For only a couple instances. One, if you threaten my safety, the safety of my family, or my loved ones or friends that I'm with at the moment, if I feel threatened then I will retaliate with the force of
Everything you got.
everything I got, and I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to finish it because at that point, I feel my life's being threatened. I feel my safety's being threatened. Outside of that, I've been using that for a long time now because of everything you described. Come on down, sign the waiver. We can.
Well, because it
settle
punks somebody real quick.
Oh, it punks.
It
people-
punks somebody real
people
quick.
punk right away. You find.
Because then they start with they even start talking shit even more and just kind of like, look, you're not getting what I'm saying. I'm down. I'm down.
I'm just calm about it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Mhm.
Like,
No, you find out the true nature of the beast, per se, when in those type
Or
of
lack
situations.
of beats, because most of them they're just
everybody's
jaw
pounding their
jacking.
chest.
They're just jaw jacking.
Well, what's that Jay-Z line? They all bark tough, but wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight.
Yep, something like that.
Some shit like that.
I definitely don't know that.
Listen,
You don't know the Hove, bro?
my favorite saying is, you're all bark, but you no bite.
Yeah.
You know, you like to bark, but you don't want to. When it comes time to bite, you don't want to bite. You know,
My
that's
favorite
what it
favorite
comes down
saying
to,
is,
you know.
I like titties and ass, but I'm a vagina man. I don't know if that has anything to do with this scenario, but that's one of my
It doesn't.
sayings.
We're going to ignore it. No. So moving on. So the point being is that at the end of the day, guess what? To your assessment of people, see how I just shut her off like that. So when you're assessing your situations, your people, you're not crazy. You're just wired differently.
Right.
You know, we again, not to rehash stuff, but listen, you're not wired like everyone else. And bottom line is your reaction and how you assess things are much different. And all right, fine, and call me crazy. I don't mind that. It's no different than, you know, like when you have a perception about people. Right?
Right.
We were talking about something earlier before.
Sure.
I've been telling you things about certain people and their actions
And sometimes you just don't pick up on it.
no. Well, if they're there, you just don't want to process it.
That's probably
But the
what it is.
reality of it is that well, that's your conundrum. But the bottom line is, guess what? They're there, and it repeats itself over and over and over again. And you know, you can only look for the good in people so much to understand they can be good people, but that's a part of their personality. It's not going to change. So you got
And that sucks.
You got to make a decision. Are they not good people because of it, or are they bad people? Well, listen, they're probably not bad people, but they're middle of the road. I like to call them opportunists. They like to use scenarios and situations to better themselves or their children.
What are they doing that's pissing you off, kind of like, without going into great detail, but
It could be anything.
It could be anything. I mean, it's a matter
they
of like
fake friends, or fake friendly, or
I
they
call
ass
them.
kissers,
Well,
No, you hit it on the head. You said
They're
opportunist.
opportunists, but they usually will ass kiss depending on who's around them and what they can get out of them. That's what it comes down to. Who the flavor of the month is. What can they get at that point? Who's
Who's going to benefit them
who's
the most when
highest
they
on
need
the
it?
food chain in their eyes at that point? Who can exactly what he said? Who can help me the most when scenarios are around? And the reality of it is, at the end of the day, if you can wipe all that shit away and understand that when it comes down to it, all they're concerned about is themselves or their children or their business or whatever the case, whatever you want to label it as, that's what it is. So what do? In my opinion and in my experience, what I do is I go like this now. And I keep there's a 3-foot separation now.
Because if they're not going to do it all the time, then don't do it.
They do it all the time.
No, what I'm saying is, if they're not going to be your friend all the time, don't be my friend part of the time. In other words.
Well, again, it's an opportunistic relationship.
So like, I mean, I hate to. One of the things that I learned from being a business banker was that like relationships aren't one way.
No.
You know, like, and I'm not going to spend time investing my energy into someone that's going to be there for part of it. You know, like I don't have
Right.
the time to entertain your bullshit. I really don't.
Right.
I really don't. So either like if you want to scrap, well, let's scrap. You're not. You just sit there and bark. Then fuck you. Like I don't need that drama. I don't need that drama. I don't need the nonsense like that childish. There's way too many people in this world who talk about what they've done or what they're going to do. Well, what are you doing right now? You're not getting anything done. You're not doing anything. What are you doing right now? Because if you were doing something, you wouldn't have time for this nonsense.
Well, the worst ones are the ones that go into exile and then all of a sudden they pop out when they feel like, okay, the tide has turned, they need to show themselves. Because why? They need something. Or they want something. Or they want to be involved in something because now they have to be. Because it's that season. You know, it's that time of year. Whatever you want to call it. And that's fair weather friend bullshit. That's opportunistic bullshit. You know, and the fact of the matter is, like they always say, you know, you always find out who people are when you're down.
Yeah,
you
when
know?
you're broke-
When you're
when
broke
you're
or down,
broke
then what is. But
Then you know who
Yeah, but then
got your back
on the-
legitimately.
Yeah, on the flip side of that, I can tell you that I'm also on the side of where I've had, unfortunately, because of my giving nature, believe it or not, I'm a giver, believe it or not, is that people
Why do you say it like that? You're a giver.
People mistake my kindness for weakness. And I can tell you, especially over the last couple of months, there's been a couple motherfuckers who I went out of my way for years, okay, and went in my pocket and went to bat for and did a whole bunch of things for people who have not returned the favor in any way, shape, or form, and hurt and disrespect a lot of people besides myself along the way. And guess what? You know who that affects? Me. I put that on me. You know why? Because now I had that voice in my head that I let that person get the best of me, and I wasn't smart enough or I wasn't sharp enough to understand that I looked past it. I had, there was one particular situation / individual, and my wife said to me, she's like, I never saw you show such patience to this person in my life, and everyone around you. Never saw. And I said, well, I was banking on the long game.
On the
On the long game, and I made a mistake. But you know, at the end of the day, let that person misstep.
Are
Make
they,
the mistake.
Are they rude to you, or
It's
when they're
just,
done with you,
I mean, if you want to call it rude.
or they want nothing to do with you, or they?
I don't want to go into
Whatever.
details, but the point being is like, let misstep. Let those people misstep, because what they don't, the difference between me and them is
You're not gonna forget.
I'm not going to forget, and I'm going to, do what I do.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that, to your point, so when you're assessing situations and people, it doesn't make a difference if you're in church, if you're at the supermarket, if you're at a restaurant, if you're sitting in your living room. I've been in places where I'm sitting in a living room and going, why am I here? Why? Why am I here? It becomes those type of experiences and scenarios where you have to evaluate. Because you're like, okay, I need to just get out of here with the least amount of damage. Because I'm capable of doing more damage than anybody in the room. I mean, right? What did we say many times? We got black belts and fucking parties up. So, for the lack of a party, because for what? I don't, like to you say, I don't need that anymore. That's a part of my personality that is there. It's always going to be there. But I'm mature enough now to understand that I got to keep that in a locked door and only use it when I need to use it. Because it's too easy to be used.
You know what I have a problem with, though, is letting that shit, I don't know how to not let that shit bother me.
Oh no, I have to say.
But he's no different.
I'm no different.
None of us are different, yeah.
I don't sleep at night because of shit.
I wish I didn't give as much of a fuck as I do. I hate that it bothers me so much, that I feel like I need to.
Well, I think you give a fuck because when you invested in something and then you don't get the same respect back, that's the problem. That's what bothers me. I was talking to my guys last night. We had a little via text on our Champion Mindset text group with the athletes, and we had a little discussion about stuff. And we had a moment. I said, "There's things going on right now that I have that those are my demons. They keep me up at night because I let people, involve themselves in my circles and stuff that have just been real scumbags." And that's on me. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to, because I'm not perfect. No one's here perfect, and you want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, when you ignore signals, because you're thinking there's going to be a change,
because of love, too. Because of love,
you ignore signals, and you say, nah, it's going to change, it's going to change, it's going to change. But then, I've had it in scenarios now where there's a guy who's working with me right now who at the beginning, I had to bring him in my office and say, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You're going to fucking do what I tell you to do. You're going to react this way. You're going to be this way, or I'm going to fucking kick your ass. And that's what it took. Because he's never had anyone speak to him like that and understand that this is what has to be done. Okay? And I can tell you the 360 that has taken place, okay, with that individual, because that person embraced the mentoring, embraced the teaching, embraced the fact that, okay, he's older than me, he understands things, he gets it, and you know what? He's right. Then you have the opposite side where it's like, okay, you try all that and you took a different route, okay, and it doesn't work, and you end up getting kicked in the ass for it. Whose fault is it? It's your fault. It's like you said, it's evaluating situations. You know what I mean? When you evaluate, you gotta evaluate what's going on in front of you.
I couldn't agree more.
Can I get back to Shay real quick before
Yes.
we wrap this up?
Sure.
You guys have any thoughts about what he said? He's talking about church. Like, you guys are talking about legitimate things, but he's going to church. So, like, someone's saying, peace be with you. He's thinking, oh, can I beat your fucking ass?
But I mean,
listen, to preface what he's saying, I can tell you this, and I'm going to speak somewhat in. I'm going to speak somewhat in somewhat covert.
Yeah.
I don't go anywhere in a public place, regardless if it's a house of worship or not, and not be prepared for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
And that's in all facets, because that's the world we live in now.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Forget about where you're at.
There's no safe space. There's no four walls you
No.
can walk into and be like, oh, I shouldn't have these
I shouldn't have
negative
any
thoughts
issues here.
because
Yeah.
X, Y, Z.
And the bottom line is with the mental health issues, the drugs, the kids are wild, the parents are snowflake liberals. The problems continue to go on and on where you don't know. You could be somewhere in a house of worship. You could be in a house of worship and something can go down. That's what happens now.
Right.
You don't have a guy that comes in dressed up like a merc
Nope.
that commits the violence. It's
a regular-
a regular person you would never expect to do it. So at the end of the day, you evaluating people, you're one of the smart ones. I hate to say it. And I don't say that biasly, I mean it. It's really the way it is. So, But guys, gals, we're gonna wrap that up. Hope you enjoyed that. Paul Ciotto, Frank Ciotto, Christopher Shay, Peter Oberk, Cuzzy Frank.
Guys, don't forget, YouTube, Instagram, like, share, subscribe. Check us out. Hope you like the content.
Kirk out.
Out.